Welcome back to Mr. Wicklam's virtual math classroom. Today what we're going to be looking at is our patterns in algebra unit, extending patterns, and predicting positions. First, what we're going to do is we're just going to look at this example here, and it's just a review from what we had just learned about cores and about length and terms. And so what I would like you to do is I would like you to try and identify the core of this pattern right here. And then what I would like you to do is I would like you to know what the length is, so what the length of this pattern is. And there's also core length as well. So let's figure out what the core is first. So if you've correctly identified that the core is BYY, you are correct. And if you have identified that the core length is 3, then you are correct. If you have identified that the length of the whole pattern is 9, so it has 9 terms in it, you are also correct. Now what I would like you to do is I would like you to tell me what the 6th term is. So what the 6th term is. Remember, each one of these letters is a term. So what is the 6th term? So if you said that the 6th term was the Y, you are correct. And that was just a simple review of yesterday. So what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be looking at how to extend patterns and how to predict positions. So for instance, if you take a look at this pattern right here, it's a simple pattern: circle, square, circle, square, circle. So what we want to do is we want to be able to take this pattern, and what we want to do is we want to be able to figure out, first of all, what the core is, and secondly, what we want to be able to do is extend it, and more importantly, we want to figure out further on down the line what term it's going to be without having to draw the whole thing out. So we're going to be using a process with number lines and skip counting. And so what I would like to do is let's identify what the core is. So if you said the core that was circle, square, you're correct, okay? And so if we were to extend this pattern, what would we put on the end of this? So we have circle, square, circle, square, circle. Something's missing. So obviously, you guys probably have figured this out, we would need a square. So that's how you would extend the pattern. So extending the patterns, you guys have no problem with that. I know you've done that. Now, we need to predict positions. If I were to say to you, what is the 20th? What is the 20th term going to be in this sequence? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the circles. Which positions are the circles in? So the circles are in 1, 3, 5. So we have 1, 3, 5. If you were to extend this pattern without drawing it, you kind of see a pattern forming. So 1, 3, 5, we're going up by how many? If you figured out 2, you are correct. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. You get the drift of where I'm going with this. So if we're looking for the 20th term, obviously what we know is that these are all odd numbers, right? Let's take a look at the squares. So you have 2, because that's 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If we were to go further with that, which one do you think would the 20th term be? Circle, or would it be a square? So we know that the circles are all odd numbers. We know the squares are all even numbers. What's the 20th? 20 is an even number. So what would the 20th term be? The 20th term would be a square. Let's keep going. 14, 16, 18, 20. So you can see how it plays out. Now, we want to be able to do this so we don't have to be able to do circle, square, and write out all the number lines. We want to be able to get better at this just by mentally calculating it in our head. So first of all, you always need to figure out what the core is. Because when you figure out what the core is, that will always help you further on down the line as to which term that it's going to be. So if we take a look at the next pattern, what we want to do is we want to be able to figure out what the 23rd term is here. Okay, so first of all, we look at our pattern. Where does it start to repeat? So you got B, B, Y, 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 B, B, Y, Y, Y. So you can figure out pretty clearly that the pattern starts to repeat right here. So you have a core length of 5 terms. We have 10 terms here altogether. Now, we're going to use a number line this time to help us try to figure out what the 23rd term is. So what we want to do is we want to go and we want to skip count, and we want to get as close as we can to 23 to help us figure it out. So we notice that in our core, the 5th term is a Y. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mark on our number line the 5th term. Okay, we know that's a Y. Let's put that above it. Okay, and that's the core. Our core is 5 terms long. So let's go, if we go up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because that's repeating in the core, we're going to mark the 10th one out, which is also a Y. So you notice a pattern here. We're going up by how many each time? 5, 10. You can pretty much figure it out. We're going up by 5s. The next one is going to be at 15. That's where our pattern, that's where the core ends. 5, 10, 15, 20. The core ends there. Okay, so at the 21st term, that's where our core begins. Okay, because we've been marking where the core ends. So the 21st term, the core begins. So we can write above here B, B, Y. So what we did is we just went where the core ended and we marked those off on our number line. And then what I did is, because after term 20, the core begins again, and we're getting close. As you can see, we're getting close to the end of our number line, so we can't go 5 more spots. We just can't, because 25 isn't out here. So we're going to 23 because we want to find the 23rd term. So we start over, we get B, B, and Y. So the 23rd term is yellow. Now, I've kind of showed you 3 different ways. Writing it out, we can also use a number line, but we're also skip counting in our head. And skip counting, guys, is very, very, very crucial in order for to extend patterns and to predict patterns. Now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to take this simple pattern here, and I would like you to find the 16th term. What I would like you to do is I would like you, because you're going to have a piece of paper and a pencil, go get that. I'd like you to find the 16th term for this, RYY, RYY, RYY. First, you need to find the core, and you need to determine the core's length, and that will help you be able to find the 16th term as I showed you up here. Okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to find the 16th term, and then what I would like you to do is I would like you to show me what that is so that you can get started on your math pages. As always, if you've missed anything in this section or in this lesson, you may always go back and rewatch it. This is Mr. Wicklam signing out.